Hi everyone. I am creating a series of videos documenting um, different topics related to sexual assault and sexual violence. I've made videos on what to expect to file a police report. I'm going to do some more. So I thought I'd make a video on how to support someone who's disclosed a sexual assault or sexual violence. So I would say the most important thing is to believe them. I know a lot of people who've received a lot of victim blaming or people not believing them, and that's really damaging and can re traumatize the person. So I would say that's number one. And just listen, validate their feelings, allow them to feel whatever they're feeling. And that can be various different things. Just kind of let them know that you're there for them and um, yeah, just kind of support as much as you can. I would also, um, maybe if they are not aware of their options, you can mention it to them, but do not pressure them to do anything they do not want to do. So if they want to do a evidence collection kit or colloquially known as a rape kit, which you can use for other types of sexual assault as well. If they want to do one, then like that's their choice, and I would suggest you try and find someone who's able to go with them. But if they don't, then do not pressure them because it's a really difficult thing to go through, and it has to be up to the person who's doing it because otherwise you're taking away more control from them. Um, the other being that if they want to file a police report or file a complaint with work or whatever the situation is, be there to support them, but also do not pressure them because it can cause more trauma and just be a really difficult situation. And yeah, I would say that um, it can be harmful to the survivor, like trying to say like, oh, well, it happened to other people or whatever. Like it can be very like it can almost make them try and feel responsible for something that's not their responsibility and not their fault. Um, and it can cause them to feel guilty or like pressure them into a situation they do not want to be in. So again, like how to make their own decisions on that. Personally, I chose to report mine, but not everybody does for a variety of reasons, including people that think that they won't believe them or just the process of going through the justice system is pretty brutal. So yeah, I would say that's another thing. Um, and just showing up for them as much as you can, like invite them to do like other fun things if they want to have space for themselves and don't want to be around people, then respect that. But you can like check in on them, see how they're doing, just sort of be a source of support for them as much as you can. Um, Maybe mention to them that if they like want counseling or whatever, you might be able to help them look or just kind of support them in that. But that also has to be the person's decision because not everyone is ready to seek help for that situation right away, and some don't want to do that at all. They heal in everyone heals in different ways, and that has to be their own decision in terms of how they want to move forward with the situation. The other option that a lot of people are not aware of is if police are aware of the situation, you can get a no contact order or restraining order against the attacker. I'm not sure if you would have to file a police report for that or whether you can do it just through the courts. That's something I would have to look into, but that's something I didn't know, and I wish I did because it would have made me feel a little bit safer um, while dealing with all the other stuff. But yeah, I personally received a lot of like victim blaming comments, just people not showing up for me when I needed them to, or like staring off into space and saying nothing or anything like that. And that was really hurtful and it's damaged my relationships with people to the point where I don't really feel like I have people in my life anymore I can rely on or that I'm friends with. And just made the situation a lot harder than it needed to be. Um, but if you like don't know what to say, that is totally okay. It's a difficult situation for a lot of people to wrap their heads around, and you can acknowledge that, like, hey, I'm like, sorry this happened, or some people don't like the word sorry, but you can just be like, oh, like, I hear you. It sounds like a very difficult situation. Like, I don't know what to say right now. Or you can ask them, like, what do you need right now? Because that will be different for every person, and they can kind of determine what they need and get the right support. So they might say, oh, I just need you to listen, or I don't want to talk about it, I want to, like, ignore it and just deal with other things in my life, or whatever the situation is. People tend to be able to make their own decisions on that, and some people will say, I don't know what I need, but you can kind of give them options and just try and lend a hand whenever possible. And just recognize that there is no specific timeline for healing. It can take a long time, and it can also take not so much time, depending on the circumstances around the assault, depending on, or like other forms of sexual violence, and also depending on the person and whether they have past trauma and all of that stuff. So it's not something you can just kind of expect people to get over right away. And I think that's a thing that a lot of people kind of carry straight around, is like, why am I not over it yet? And um, that's like a very individual process, and pressuring them to kind of move on with their life is generally not what people need and can make the situation worse. So, yeah, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me in the comments, and I hope you found this video useful.